Hey adventurers, welcome to another episode of In Skyrim.
Okay,
where the hell is he?
The divines must be smiling
Not
on
here.
us.
Oh, there he is.
Yes?
How's the rewrite coming along?
Good. Just a few more days to work out the pacing.
Okay, a few more days. Few more days.
Ah, a visitor. Old Hrolden Inn has hundreds of years of history, friend.
Is who we're looking for?
Tidings, Sirrah. My name is Asteria,
Let's save that
a traveling bard on her way to Markarth. If you would like to hear a song, do not hesitate to make a request. I require no coin or patronage for my services. All I ask in return is the following favor. Should my verse please you, then I would be most gracious if you spread word of my song to the citizens of the Reach.
If your song is true, I'll gladly spread news of your prowess.
It's good to see that there are those in Skyrim who still speak with grace and live with honor.
Other provinces?
I hail from Cyrodiil, but I've plied my trade in Hammerfell and High Rock, and have tales to tell from each.
Tell me a story from Hammerfell.
As you wish. It was not but a season ago, before I came to Skyrim, in the city of Elenher. There, I met a couple, hiding out in an old shack, tucked between a canopy of trees. Two women, who fought on the field and fell for each other. A Thalmor Justikar, and an Alakir warrior. They knew their lives were short. They knew their story would end in tragedy. So, they asked me to tell their tale, so that it would not be forgotten. It's not a fairy tale by any means, nor is their love the kind we can easily digest. They betrayed their homes, their kings, and their gods, so that they could stay true to their hearts.
I'll make a request.
As you wish. What would you like me to play?
Something sad?
You're in luck. As I hail from Cyrodiil, I am well versed in songs of all varieties, and songs of melancholy are my specialty. Waves touch the coast, are but in twilight's blue. From dawn came the sunlight, and with dusk it fades from our view. Calm embraces the sky.
The stink of the collective Riven. How I despise them all.
I bathe sometimes, occasionally, maybe never.
It's not you exactly, but the occasional city stench, the smell of the very wind itself, and the sunlight to boot. Sometimes it is overwhelming.
Well, I'm glad you endure for me.
Oh, get away from me.
Okay.
Bells on the docks, they cry out for the mortal day, and winds sing the dirt for the words we never could say, and sails fly at half-mast in the color of evening's hue, and tears break the silence for the children we almost knew. When dawn kissed the ocean, from the golden light came our birth. And when dusk falls on the harbor, to the golden shores we will return. Well met, Sarah.
Why not perform in Markarth?
Bards are quite territorial, and there are many in Markarth who already call the Silver Blood Inn their home. In Old Roldan, I can ply my trade without having to contend for the floor. There's also the advantage of novelty. Just as a meal is most delicious when one's hunger is at its peak, the emotion of a song is best felt by those with virgin ears. Although I must confess, I do like the atmosphere of a traditional Nord inn. I love warm beds and homely smells, and also jewels, although I suppose one of those three has nothing to do with Old Roldan.
Where have you trained?
Not at the Bard's College, if that's what you're implying. I'm very much a bard, however, or I wouldn't advertise my services as such. If my skill were lacking, you would discover that soon enough.
How so?
A sword maiden, for instance, could not profess her skill in battle and then show up to the arena with her armor on backwards. Nor can I claim to be a bard if my loot collects more dust than coin. Even here in Old Roldan, there's always someone with a story. A lost loved one, a new job, a family reunion, a long goodbye. And whether it's good, bad, or sad, a story always needs a tune.
Didn't answer my question.
No, I suppose I didn't.
Okay.
Alright then.
Alright then. Okay. We seem to have reached a dead end there.
If you got the boon, put it up and you'll have the fiercest warrior in all of Skyrim.
What brings you to Old Roldan?
What does it look like? I'm a sellsword. You hiring?
How much do you charge?
I don't take coin. I just have one rule. I keep what I kill. If that works for you, then you have my steel.
Follow me.
Lead on then. My mace hand's getting twitchy. An orc follows to the death. Just don't make a habit of inviting it. Just remember our bargain.
Steel mace.
To the next fight.
Might be able to give you a better mace.
Hail, companion.
Oh, it's the first one.
Yes? Certainly. Tower, when a resourceful and nimble mind is needed, help us see the light.
Yeah?
Have a look at this, mate.
I'll hold your stuff, but I'm not keeping it. You drag me to a stronghold, I roll your head.
Right. Oh yeah, I want to change my sword too. That used to be called Krasimir, but they changed the name. Right. That's the Krasimir I had in Legendary Edition. Okay, let's check back here with Jasper. What do we have a glass CI thing going on?
Yes?
How's the rewrite coming along?
Actually, it's done. I can't say for sure if the publisher will like it. At this point, I don't really mind if he doesn't. All it means is I have room to grow. I know I'm still aspiring. My journey is far from over. Still, the fact that he was willing to listen, and you were willing to help, means it's also far from hopeless. Here.
Okay, if you can, you pushed me forward then. Right.
A coin or two for a veteran? It's not
I'm
much to
glad
ask.
you're
Welcome to the Winking Skeever. Take a load off and enjoy the atmosphere.
Need something.
Now we can take a load off.
Brought
I'm in
you
the mood
Jasper's
for a song, a
rewritten
drink,
manuscript.
And
a-
here I thought the story of the orc with the stone hands would never get told. Glad to see you've kept it safe. Now, let me take a look. Now this, my friend, is a story. Give me a season or two, and the name Jaspar Gersten will be known from here to Strozemkai. Here, take this gold.
Strozemkai.
Half is for you, and the other half is an advance for our newest writer.
In the month of mid-year we set sail.
You really
from
think
the
it's any
north,
good?
leaving
Well,
Earth in the
good is a
golden
relative
sun.
term. For a debut novel from an unknown writer, it's not bad. But the lad has potential, and I think it's worth investing our time.
Okay.
Safe travels.
She had 23 masts and she stood 7 blasts, and we called her the old Sea Hawk. We had 6 million pails of blind skeever tails. We had 2 million heads of swine. We had...
work's gonna be published. Congratulations.
Wow. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you're advanced. You deserve every piece.
400 septums. I Are you sure? This is too much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess you're off to go on more adventures. But before you go, tell me, who exactly is this publisher in Solitude?
Flynn Horsted.
Flynn Horstad? The man who wrote The Duke of Beards? Suddenly I'm not so sure I trust his endorsement. But I confess, I haven't read his recent work. I've heard that it's far more substantial. In any case, I'm grateful to you both. Now when I look out from the lighthouse, I no longer feel so much despair. I feel hope.
Right.
Until next time.
Till next time. I think we need to go to Dragon Bridge.
Huh?
Someone there. You're mine.
By the gods! No mercy for those who oppose us. Victory shall be ours. Could hit harder than you.
Okay. Her shield is changing. Shouldn't be. Okay. It was dual sheath. Patcher had the wrong shield for on the back. And now when I load in, it's slow for some reason. Okay, there's supposed to be a guy here. Okay, there's a dragon's
skeleton up there. And a dragon skeleton up there, down there now. There's a fortune in dragon brain. That's him.
Tell me, traveler, do you have any regrets? Of course you do. We all do. They say regrets are the foundation of wisdom, for if we do not regret our mistakes, we are damned to repeat them. Our successes, meanwhile, need not to be remembered, for they only serve to bolster our temerity. That is why a general is haunted not by his victories in the battlefield, but those that slip from his grasp.
Regrets haunt me every day, and I'll vow not to repeat them.
That is the way we are meant to live. Always tumbling forward, looking back only to see how far we've come. For some things, such a task is simple. A hastily written report, a tactless reply, a spilled drink. For others, the tendrils run deeper, rooting your body in the earth. There is no way forward. Not until you free yourself of the memory. Not until you make things right.
What is your regret?
The thief. The one that got away. An imperial woman based on the reports. And a lone operative. She's burglarized homes of a number of notable lords, thanes, and nobles. At times, she's even ransomed their children. She's outfoxed the city guards, evaded the Archaeologists, and even managed to rankle prominent members of the Thieves' Guild.
Hasn't been more of an effort to catch her?
Unfortunately, the resources of the Empire are exhausted in tracking her down, forced the Council to suspend all pursuit. Given the state of the Imperial coffers, it was cheaper to let her run free and compensate the aggrieved for their losses. Only I remain dedicated to the cause of justice. And what I lack in men and resources, I make up for in will. I've chased her across Tamriel for the last 15 years. And I believe I'm closer than ever to catching her.
Is Executioner's axe too good for her?
I'm not sure anyone would even bother. Too busy chopping off the heads of elderly Talos worshippers to care about Tamriel's most celebrated thief. If I hadn't retired, they would still have me raid the chest of every Nord who wore a beard that resembled Tiber's septums.
You think she's in Skyrim?
There have been several witnesses' accounts of a raven-haired thief posing as a bard. As you know, most who reside here are light of hair and tall in stature, which already narrows down the list of possible culprits. And while there are bards in Skyrim from here to Riften, there is only one capable of playing that song. Dusk at that little harbor was its name, if I call it correctly. A beautiful but solemn tune about the sunset over the Gold Coast and the tragic death of a loved one.
You have a description of the thief?
I do. It's been burned into the bone of my skull from sketches and wanted posters and images from another time. A raven-haired woman, 32 years of age, with an aquiline nose and eyes the color of steel. She is as fearsome as an orc, but can be as cunning as a diplomat, and if need be, can charm me with the grace of a sylph.
That's awfully precise. Do you know her identity?
I meant it as an estimate, nothing more. Given her description, she could be anywhere from 30 to 34 years of age. I choose the middle ground. I try to make my descriptions as accurate as possible, so that my words will not be distorted as they are conveyed to the next person. If I were to say she was in her early 30s, the information would quickly degrade as it passed from mouth to ear. For instance, someone might forget to include the word early. With just a simple omission, she can now be as old as 39. The Raven of Anvil is cunning enough on her own. It does us little good to cast more shadows where she can conceal herself.
Raven of Anvil?
Yes, I thought it was best to give her a name that was more memorable and identifiable. All reports are at times conflicting, but the most reliable agree on one point. The girl has hair as black as a raven, so dark that it seems to devour the light around it. And like the ominous bird, she is not to be trusted, and the very sight of her is a wicked portent for those who have worked hard for their wealth. None more so than the Countess of Anvil, when her weakness opened the doors of the Great Hall to this Eater of Carrion. Until next time.
You must be lost. The tavern is down the road a piece.
Citizen.
How did this heist happen?
The Countess's cousin had passed away, and she was now on her 12th day of mourning. She refused to eat, and refused to sleep. Soon her court was deprived of the same. As her mood grew more and more contemptuous, it seemed nothing would allay her grief. Many bards and poets came from all over Tamriel to celebrate the life of her cousin, in hopes of appeasing the Countess. Yet it seemed that even time itself had given up all hope, until the day a raven-haired minstrel walked into the castle and gently strummed her lute.
The Raven of Anvil?
Those who were in attendance insisted it was the saddest song ever heard by mortal ears. They claimed the sky rained for 7 days and 7 nights, as both the Countess and the divines exhausted all the tears. That night, the entire court slept for the first time in weeks, and when they awoke, they found their cases and coffers emptied of their valuables. Farewell.
Okay. Sounds familiar. Okay. Where's Britannia? Yeah.
Good Lord, didn't anybody here subscribe?